Bob. Chapter 14. Bob. Gran is on the phone in the den, and we slip right past her and up the stairs. Her voice is crackly and high-pitchy, which means she's talking to the bank again. After I supervise her hand-washing, Livy gets to work twisting off the lid. She grunts, she groans. I try to keep still, but it is not easy. Finally, she lowers her arms. This is no good. I must have been stronger when I was 5. You were different strong, I tell her, holding out my palm. She places the jar in my hand, and I only have to twist the tiniest bit, and the lid pops off. I'm sure you loosened it up, I tell her, handing it back. Uh-huh. She peeks in, then turns it over. It takes a few forceful shakes before 3 things fall out onto the bed. 2 pieces of black licorice and a rolled-up photograph of old Livy sitting on the floor in front of the bookshelf in this very room, reading a book upside down. The book is upside down, that is. Livy herself is right side up. And that's it. I look at her, and she looks at me. I'd have thought a time capsule would contain more stuff, I say, grabbing a piece of the licorice. You're not really going to eat that, right? It's 5 years old. I pop it in my mouth. Stale licorice is better than no licorice any day. Livy's hand darts out and grabs the second piece before I can get it. Let's make sure you survive the first one, she says, sticking it in her pocket. She picks up the photograph. Why would I have put this one picture in there? She wonders out loud. I'm kind of insulted. There's nothing about me in the jar. Would it have been so hard to put in a feather from my chicken suit? She picks up the photo, then flips it over. Hey, Bob, look! Something's glued onto the back. She peels it off and holds it up with a grin. It's a feather from your chicken suit. I smile sheepishly, ashamed of myself. Of course, Livy wouldn't have left me out. I take the feather and stick it onto one of the many bare spots on my belly. It's in much better condition than all the rest. The picture is pretty cute, I tell her, looking closer. Old Livy is obviously pretending to read the oversized book. It looks like a cool book with lots of colorful pictures on both covers. I twist my head until I can read the title. Fairy and Folk Tales from A to Z. It's like my dictionary, A to Z. I don't think I know any fairy or folk tales, but Livy does, or at least her mother does. Livy studies the picture too. Suddenly, she grabs my arm. Bob, who does that look like on the cover? She stabs her finger at the picture. What do you mean? I turn it so the book cover is facing the right way and try to identify the objects from the cover. Is that a mermaid? Yes, she says impatiently. It's a mermaid on a rock, a 3-headed lion, a lumberjack, a fairy, and you. Me? I grab the photo back. The only drawing on the cover I don't recognize as one of those other things is some kind of short green creature with one eyebrow. Okay, I see why she'd think I bear a slight resemblance to the creature in the drawing, but no. I shake my head. I think you just insulted the character in the book. He's much more handsome than me. Bob, she says, you look exactly like this guy. She pushes me out the door of the bedroom and into the bathroom and makes me face the mirror. I take a step back. I've never really looked at myself before. I turn this way and that, admiring my reflection from all angles. I'm not half bad. I keep preening because it's making her laugh. Then she stops. Seriously, though, this book must tell us what you are. It's been here all along. Come on. She races back to her room, and I hurry after. The phone rings, and I hear Gran answer it downstairs. Maybe the bank is calling back. It's got to be here somewhere, Livy is saying, pulling books off the shelves with both hands. It's not on the shelves. Maybe it's under the bed, she says. She throws back the covers and ducks down and spreads her arms out like she's swimming. It's not under the bed. Where else could it be? She asks, throwing up her hands. I think about it, and it hits me that I know exactly where it is. Livy, the book is at... But before I can tell her that Sarah took it after Livy went back home last time, Gran shouts upstairs, Livy, please come down right away. I need you. She sounds more urgent than I've ever heard her, even more worked up than the time a woman from the bank came all the way to the house. Livy looks torn, but only for a second. She says, I'll be right back. Keep looking. I open my mouth, but she's already flying down the stairs. I sit on the bed and wait. That's where I am when the front door slams and Gran's car drives away, with Livy in it. Well, that stinks. I move to the top of the stairs and listen to all the silence, my chest tight and my head swimmy. This is a familiar feeling. I call it the feeling of Livy leaving suddenly without telling me when or if she's coming back. I know this feeling well. I stand up from the stairs. Livy's not gone for good. I know that this time. No more feeling sorry for myself and waiting. I have a book with a strikingly handsome green creature on the cover to find, and there's no time to waste. I straighten my head comb and use the tape on the desk in the corner of the kitchen to secure a few feathers that are hanging loose. I grab 2 pickles and a loaf of bread, eat 1 pickle and 2 slices of bread with butter, then I continue my rushing out. I am not a not zombie fake chicken on a mission.